So we back with another video, and today we're gonna be giving y'all the best dunk packages in NBA 2K23. Now it's gonna be some new ones that I usually don't give y'all. I kind of been gatekeeping, I can't lie, but we're gonna be going over everything in detail today because today is the dedicated dunk package video. If you guys want more videos like this for the animations, all you gotta do is like the video, subscribe if you're new, put in the comments down below what else you guys want me to do. Without further ado though, let's hop into it. Alright, so hopping into it. So when it comes to the best dunk packages, we're gonna go over dunks, we're gonna go over the parks, we're gonna go over the context, the alley-oops, everything. So let's hop into it. So when it comes to the best dunk packages in the game, best dunk packages in the game is the two hands for safety. Now, somebody in my last video said, what about the off two? If I'm going with an off two, I'm not really going with a safety type thing. I'm going with like a back scratcher or something like that, because those are not just not dunks. If I'm putting on off twos, I'm just not doing it for like safety. I'm just doing it to have fun, which you can do. But when I'm putting on dunk packages, I'm just doing stuff to not really much get blocked. I just want my points every single time. So in my opinion, the best dunk package in the game is quick drops off one, and this is by far. Now when it comes to the double clutch, I think you could argue this is good too. The front clutches, that's really good for like people that not able to get like beyond silver like limitless takeoff. But I do think once you do get silver, limitless takeoff, gold, Hall of Fame, I think the front clutches are just nowhere near in comparison to the quick drops off one. Quick drops off one, if you don't have the silver, then yeah, bronze, no, and not having like no limitless takeoff, you can definitely argue front clutches is better. But I would still say quick drops off one is just better because of everything else that you get when you do get the limitless takeoff. Now, when it comes to the one-hand dunk packages, one I've been kind of gatekeeping is the cockback tomahawks. Cockback tomahawks is what I've been using for the past 2 seasons, and it's really perfect for my left hand, right hand dunks when it comes to me using the analog stick. Now, what I had been using prior, I have been using straight on tomahawks, I have been using the athletic one-handers off one, and I have been using either the LeBron James dunk package or the Russell Westbrook. But the cockback tomahawks is just perfect for me because it does enough and it's fast enough to get it off for the left and right hand, and that when people are trying to chase down me and they're coming from a certain side, I can now start doing that angle to the left or the right to do a left hand or right hand dunk. Now, there are some situations where the two hand is just the perfect thing to do every single time, so I do the two hands most of the time. But there are certain situations where that one hand dunk where you need to go to the left or the right, it's just better situations. So that's why I do like using that cockback tomahawk. Now, when it comes to the best player dunk packages, I would say Russell Westbrook or LeBron James. But if you want some like flashy, because if you don't know, flashy dunk packages do matter. The flashier the dunk, the more bonus you do get towards your takeover. So Michael Jordan, Vince Carter are the ones I would use if I'm going for like a flashier. Now when it comes to the park dunks, my favorite one is Jordan Sutherland. That's the only one I really use. You can also go with Jordan Kilgannon. But all of these are really fun and cool to use, like the flashies. It doesn't really matter at this point if you're going with an off two or off one, because these are just flashy and just for flash and stuff like that. So my favorite ones are the flashies, the underlegs, the underleg 360s, the 360 Kilgannon, or even Sutherland. It's that simple. Those are the ones I would recommend if you're going with a flashy. And like I said, flashy is kind of like Showtime, but it doesn't really do anything for your teammates. And that's like I guess a newer thing. I kind of feel like it was always in the game, but like ever since they took out Showtime. But Mike Wang said for sure it's in the game this year. All right, next is like the big man dunks. This is gonna be pretty much like the standing dunks. In my opinion, I think these are the only ones you really need to go with. You can go with these, but I think that these are just the best ones possible because these are just getting you an auto one every single time, auto bucket every single time. Now, the way I use them, usually I just use it like this, two hand under basket, because I do find myself getting the one hand are faster, but I do find him missing more. So, and you see my build, this is not my big man build or anything. This is just my 99 driving dunk build, and this does have like the 72 standing dunk. So I do find my two hand being way more reliable. Now, if you are big, you can probably not even worry about the one hand being like missing as nearly as much. But me personally, I do find myself liking the two hand under basket regular the most. The one hand is faster, but it does miss a lot more than the two hand. It's just that simple. That's why we do call it two hands for safety. Now when it comes to the content dunks, this is what I tell you every single time. No matter how many of these you have, I will put them all on so you can have more animations for more situations. Now, if you are doing a dunk meter, you can just put on the flashiest ones. If you are putting on the flashiest ones, I would just go with the elite off 2 or the elite off 1. Very, very disgusting animation. If you are on current gen, there are certain animations that you just don't have on current gen that you do have on next gen. I still haven't even done a video for that. Probably need to go ahead and do that because we're already halfway through the year. Kind of crazy. But yeah, if you just want the flashiest ones, since we do have dunk meter on both current gen and next gen now, just put on the elites. But if you just want more variety, put on every single package possible, whether that is the pro, the elite, the small, or even the big man contact dunks. So yeah, that's just what I would say on that type of aspect. Now when it comes to the alley-oops, this is what I would recommend if you're a big man pro. If you're anything besides a big man, you're going with elite and Zion, or just whatever you want to do. I would just say if you are using elite and Zion, you got to understand that the pro are much slower. Like time is gonna be a much slower timing alley-oop than the elite and Zion. That's why I have the ability to use pro and I don't use it. And that's why I say if you are big, you're gonna you want to use pro, but you could use the other ones too. The only time I would ever try to use more than just pro is if I'm on a big, and the only time I would try to use a pro if I'm on a big. So I would say the only time you really can even worry about doing more than that is if you're using pro. It's kind of just that simple. Now, with that being said, when it comes to these park alley-oops, I think that the park alley-oops are just better for flashy dunks, giving you pretty much extra bonus, because these are less likely to you caring if they they're just less likely to get blocked. The most thing that you think that could even mess these up is really somebody playing the passing lane, but 9 times out of 10 you're timing them and you're not gonna really miss them depending on your dunk rating, or at least for my experience. Now again, when it comes to contact alley-oops, just like contact dunks are very, very important when it comes to a lot of things, but contact alley-oops are very, very good to have too. Now, these are now on current gen as well, just like dunk meter. Now, the thing about the contact alley-oops, unlike the contact dunks, you have a little bit more say into contact dunks. Now, I have figured out how to get contact alley-oops to trigger every single time. If you guys do want that tutorial, I can give y'all that, but that's a real quick thing, I'll be honest. But contact alley-oops, it's just a little bit tougher on the frequency because you don't have nearly as much control as we have on the dunk meter. We used to have a lot of control on the contact dunks though prior, even before we had the dunk meter. We always had to find a method to get that stuff, and we now have the method to do the contact alley-oops. But what I would say is just put as many as you possibly can have, and that's probably the better way to do it. That's just what I would say. So yeah, that would be the contact alley-oops and pretty much the alley-oops portion of the video. Now that's pretty much everything for the dunks. Now, I had told people in my previous video, I think it was the dribble animations, that if you guys wanted me to go over every single pass style for a video, I can do that. Y'all went crazy on the like button in that video, so I will be having that coming. Now, if you guys do want me to update y'all on the contact dunk tutorial, I can do that as well. I still got to do the dribble tutorial. All these things, if you guys want these things to drop, go ahead, like the video. If you guys do want to know the best layup packages in the game, if you are 6'5" or under 6'5", I would say Kyrie Irving or long athlete. If you're above 6'5", I would say long athlete or Ja Morant. But if you can't get Ja Morant because you're 6'10" and above, I would say long athlete for the people that do care about the layup, so that we can go over all slasher animations in this video. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you guys want more videos like this, all you gotta do is like the video. Hopefully you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on notifications to be the first to every single one of the videos. Share this video to anybody, and I mean anybody you think it would help. Without further ado, man, it's your boy Fitz, and I have to be, man. I'm a black guy. Shawty wanna show her ass out. All black red got a good side. One up, got a bad side. I got a whole lot of mud shot.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!